That is certainly heartbreaking. Very soon we'll let you know how you can be of help if you want to support this little boy go through surgery. Now, a group of women organizers of the New Patriotic Party (NPP) are accusing Northern Regional Chairman Bugari Naabu of masterminding the recent attacks on the offices of the school feeding coordinator by a group calling itself Bema Camp. They also say Bugari Naabu is behind the recent allegations of favoritism in the selection of caterers for the program against Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection Otiku Afisa Jaba. They are therefore calling on the president to act swiftly against the chairman, who they insist is destroying the good name of the party.
Mr. Bugari Naabu and his cohorts' continuous distraction has given the government a bad name in the northern region in its attempts to demonize people like Honorable Otiku Afisa Jaba. Honorable Salifu Said, Northern Regional Minister, Honorable Solomon Bua, Deputy Northern Regional Minister, Honorable Idris Musa Superior, Mayor of Tamale, and many others, turning himself into a tin god and a bulldozer. Bugari Naabu has succeeded in taking unilateral decisions to sack even NPP Regional Council of Elders, constituency party chairman, deputy chairman, and women organizers just to satisfy his own parochial interest. Ladies and gentlemen, we therefore imploring the government to call him to order to ensure peace and unity in the country and the northern region in particular. Enough is enough. Naabu must be called to order. He must stop behaving as if he's the only one who worked to bring the MPP to power and thus expects his personal interests to be above the supreme interest of all Ghanaians. It is quite obvious that Mr. Bugari Naabu sees himself to be untouchable in the MPP and therefore feels that he must decide who should be appointed by Honorable Otiku Afisa Jaba into any position under the Ghana School Feeding Program, which is a national program. We are very much surprised about why Bugari Naabu and his following are so determined to show much disrespect to Honorable Otiku Jaba, and why they interfere and distract work and recruitment into the Ghana School Feeding Program. In fact, Otiku Abre. Mr. Bugari Naabu must stop organizing MPP youth and women organizers, and also stop inciting them to undertake actions that brings the government name into disrepute. We are fully aware of clandestine involvement in the recent locking up of the Northern Regional offices in the Ghana School Feeding Program by the Bema Camp Group in Tamale. We are also aware that he is behind all the demonstrations, press conferences, and the media attacks on Honorable Otiku Afisa Jaba by a few dissatisfied women in the region. Some of the press conferences were held in Bugari Naabu's private residence, and recent ones in the Nyahuini Presbyterian School in Manfara Hotel. The reckless incitement and creation of tribal tensions among coordinators of the Ghana School Feeding Program in the northern region is highly irresponsible.
So that's you heard it there, a lot of accusations against Mr. Bugari Naabu, but also the effect it is having on the school feeding program. Let's get to our correspondent on the ground now to find out what impact or what the situation is there. Martina Bugari joins me all the way from the northern region. Hello, Martina.
Hi, Gifty.
Tell us the situation on the ground as far as the the school feeding program is concerned.
I visited some schools this morning to check whether the confusion among the leadership is affecting activities of these women. I spoke to some of them. They are, even though they are cooking, but they think that there's the need for the power struggle to be resolved, because if they have concerns, they do not know who to speak to, whether to speak to the regional coordinator or to speak to the gender minister. And so they think that there is the need for a lasting solution to this crisis, because they think it will have an impact on the program if it is not resolved. Except that they also raise concerns of payments. They think that they should be able to pay them when the time is due. Except that these were some of the few issues that came up when I spoke to them.
They are obviously accusing, the ladies are obviously accusing Mr. Bugari Naabu of doing quite a lot of things. Did you find out from them if they've been able to have any interactions with the people who they used to report to, since they're saying they don't have anyone to, or they don't know, they're not clear as to who to report to if there are any issues? Have they, tried the people that they used to report to before Bugari Naabu, the Minister of Gender and Social Protection, came in?
I spoke to one woman who said she was part of those who were there before these new people were recruited, and she said that in the past what they did was to speak to the regional coordinator anytime they had issues. But this time there are two lines. There are those. Some would refer to the regional coordinator, some would refer to the gender minister, and so it's unclear who they should report to. Even to talk to me was a problem. They wouldn't want me to record anything. They wouldn't even want me to mention the schools they are cooking, because that can affect them in a way. So they didn't even want me to have them come out talk openly.
I assume that the office, which was closed, has now been opened. The school feeding program office, which was closed, has it been open?
It is open, yes. But I spoke to the regional coordinator herself too, and she says that it's like a white elephant. Nobody's there. Nobody comes there with issues, and so they are just hanging around.
Just standing up, that means that the school feeding program itself is suffering, and that the children who were beneficiaries of the program are also suffering. Is that correct?
Well, from what she says all is not well. That's how she sums it up. I asked her how is school feeding faring in the region, and she says all is not well.
When you say all is not well, does it mean that they're no more cooking? Is this something that you have found out as well, whether or not they're cooking for the kids, or they just throw their hands in the air?
They are cooking for the children.
Okay.
She wouldn't go into details, but when I spoke to some of the women, what they expected the coordinator or the ministry should do for them as new recruits who are beginning the program, what they told me was that they expected them to have some form of training for them, to tell them exactly what they should do and what not to do, and how they can coordinate activities under the program so that it will be a success. But that has not been done.
In the community or in the catchment area of the particular place where they're having these frictions, concerned, how concerned are they, and what is it that they're doing about it as well?
I didn't get the question.
Our head teachers, I must say, our head teachers in the schools which are affected, because of this friction, concerned about it, and what are they doing about it?
They obviously throw their hands in this. I asked them what they want to be done, or what are they themselves doing about it. They said they have nothing to do unless the media speaks out and the right authorities begin to resolve the issue.
Well, hopefully in the coming days, we'll see how authorities deal with that issue. Martina, thank you so much for that update. Martina Bugari is our Northern Regional Correspondent, bringing us up to speed on what's happening. As we indicated earlier, about 4 auxiliary organizations have withdrawn from the school feeding program, and we're not quite sure how that will go. There is a deba happening at the moment in Boom. We understand that the president is there. Very soon, when the president starts speaking, we'll go live to that place. Let's take another break. We'll be right back. This is The Pulse.